YouTube, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Ark of Osiris weekend. We are here with the first cast of this weekend. We got a bunch of casts lined up this weekend, chat, and people watching the VOD. We have probably the top 5 alliances in the game in this weekend being casted. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a mishap with JWM and even this alliance. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as to why this happened. I think that the matchmaking system is a bit messed up at this point in time. But we want to really make sure we're sharing this live with everybody. So I'm a bit late. I literally walked in home, made the thumbnail, and clicked live. So give me 2 seconds. Chat, I see you guys. What's up? Nikki, Skywalker, Salma, and Gulf City. What's up, everybody? Give me just a moment to really quickly post this link out there for the folks who don't know this is going on. And then we'll move from there. So give me just a second. Titch, there you are. Perfect. I can do that and take care of that right now. And let me post this link in a couple of places, and we're going to get rolling in about a minute. I'll give you guys a little bit of context about both alliances in a second. I just really have to catch up, and it's my sister's birthday tomorrow, so we went out for lunch, and I got back just in time for everything to just get this going. Hey, First Ark of Osiris League cast of the weekend. LG 1 versus pretty strong matchup. Come check it out. Bam. We do that. We send that there. And then we go here. We send this here without that. And this and that. Bam. Perfect. We're good. We're set up 17 seconds before it happens. Box, we're going to talk about why I'm not streaming JWM in a little bit. Once this starts rolling, I really need to talk about what happened here. It really is bugging me, and to no extent. But we're going to talk about Ark of Osiris right now. We're going to talk about both teams. Let's go look at who the competitor is. YYZ. I know these guys. YYZ are pretty strong. They have, so far, only 5 have ported in. Kingdom 219. So let's update the title really fast. Really quickly update the title so everybody knows who we're talking about. So this is YYZ. And it's important to add, we'll add the kingdoms later. Just let me take this screenshot so I don't forget. Move you out of the way. Sorry, chat. And let's get into the battlefield and spectate this crazy Ark of Osiris that is a bit weird. YYZ are gonna get wrecked. I don't know. I wouldn't be too overconfident about it just yet. Let's go look at the 2 teams we have, and then we'll talk in general about Ark of Osiris. If you guys have yet to experience an Ark of Osiris, we're gonna talk about all that right now. We're looking at War General, 113 million power. Big boy Jigaman, the leader of Legends Gaming 1. DJ Falco. We have a huge lineup. Another 3 EA big player, 100 and some million power player. We have a pretty stacked lineup on the side of Legends Gaming. A pretty stacked lineup. Caps, who joined us recently. Big shout out to the Legends Gaming community. This is where my jumper is. And these guys are monsters. I think we're fielding 4 or 5 100 million power players. We're going to get an inside look on these guys as well. We're going to look at the inside, from the inside on how these guys do their arc in a moment. We are on the call, on the Discord call of Legends Gaming, and we're going to listen into it here and there throughout the arc to see how they handle certain situations. YYZ also fielding a very strong lineup. A bit less, still, I'm looking at, out of 5 players, 2 of them are over 100 million power. I think that this is a pretty decent matchup. The power gap is a bit big, and that's primarily due to troop numbers. I believe that YYZ had a tougher time during their Lost Kingdom than Legends Gaming did, and therefore they're probably lower on troop counts than they usually are, which is why their power is relatively lower. But still, I do believe that this is going to be a good matchup. And the way Ark of Osiris works, if you have not participated, if you're new to the game mode of Ark of Osiris, you have a map full of these buildings. Bam, Mad added up another alliance skill just in time. And the way it works is within 19 seconds, it'll open up stage 1 of the Ark of Osiris, at which you are both teams are going to be able to take over the first set of buildings, which are marked right here. The map is a mirrored map, and the way it works is the second set of buildings opens up within 5 minutes. So right now we're at minute 56 of the event, and at this point you're going to see both teams pouring troops out. We're going to go take a look at that in a moment, and starting to take over their initial buildings. Once the obelisks are locked in for each team, then teleports are available, and members will be able to get out of the initial zone, which is right here, and port out forward. And from there, the battle goes towards the sky altars, desert altars, and the Ark of Osiris itself. This is a point per minute game. Every building has its own unique pointing system. The most important buildings in terms of point gains are the desert altars, and first occupations are huge as they give you a very big boost early on in points. Now let's talk for a moment about the matchup. JWM are matched up currently against another team playing at this moment, and my initial plan was to cast JWM because they're my alliance. They are the strongest alliance in the game, and we all really want to see the strongest alliance in the game doing their thing. But they got matched against someone that is 2.5 times smaller. We're talking about 1 billion matchmaking power against 400 million. And honestly, I couldn't screen that. I can't put that on screen, not because JWM are not insane and not because any negative thing, but because I think it's a very bad situation for both teams. It's a bad situation for JWM, who are just gonna run over everything and that's it. They're not gonna have competition in that situation, but at the same time, the other team will have no chance. This is a little bit of a closer matchup, and the crazy thing is both these alliances lined up on the same time. I don't understand how they're not fighting each other. I have contacted Lilith Gaming about this, but while we're talking, we're seeing 1, 2, and 3 rallies sent out by Legends Gaming. They have a plan of attack, and they know what they're doing. We got 2 rallies going this way, another rally from War General going that way with looks like a full infantry. Let's go take a look at where these rallies are headed. We have War General heading for the obelisk. This looks like the enemy obelisk, perhaps, is where he's heading. Giga is heading for another obelisk right there. And by the looks of it, it's the enemy obelisk. And on top of that, we have their own obelisk being rallied, plus what looks like a rally on an outpost. I wonder if it's the enemy outpost that's being rallied. Currently, the blue team are a little bit ahead, primarily because they've reached the initial buildings earlier than the red team, and so they have 1 outpost more ticking for the cooldown as of right now. It's a very early lead that we're gonna see by the blue team, but it's not as significant. We haven't seen a match being determined by this section of the match itself. But again, this is going to give a small momentum towards the blue team, which is very nice to start with. It's always nice to start a little bit ahead. It always motivates you to go forward, even as the underdog here. So at this point, what happens is when you take a building, there are 3 minutes worth of cooldown that you have to hold on to the building. And once you do that, the buildings will start ticking for points per minute for the team that owns the building, right? That conquers the building, which is why we're going to see in a moment the red team's rally. It should be hitting the obelisk any moment. And the idea behind this is, well, it seems like it got canceled this way, so that's okay. I'm assuming it's because there were too many troops in here. We're going to see that rally somewhere breaking up somewhere in here. You can see the rally broke somewhere in here, and they decided to pick up those troops and send them out to the altars and things like that. I'm assuming that's what happened. I might be completely wrong. I might have completely missed it. Now, War General's rally is gone. And so what they did is they used that rally to move troops ahead, and you can see YYZ doing the same thing. As I mentioned, there is a cooldown in between the time you can take the middle section of the buildings. And so what people usually do is they pick up the initial buildings and then they start moving their troops forward. So the second they can take the altars and shrines, those buildings will be taken. Now, usually, the way Ark of Osiris strategies are built, there are 3 sets of teams. There is either the defense, offense, and Ark team, or the bottom, top, and Ark team, but it usually is a division of three teams. We are starting to see the buildings, 2 obelisks locking in for each team, 1 on each, and ports are already happening. 50 points per minute going towards the blue team early on as they already locked in 2 buildings in their favor, while the Legends Gaming crew are still waiting on their second building. You can see the blue team very gently taking that early advantage, which is very insignificant, but just like that, the buildings, the desert altars and sky altars opened up. Instant pickup by the blue and red team, and another pickup in the sky altar. There is a rally hitting the top obelisk. We're seeing right here by Muddy. His rally did continue going towards this obelisk, but unfortunately, because of the fact that it was a bit slower, it's a bit hard to get here fast enough. They weren't able to hit this obelisk fast enough to actually take it over from the blue team, and therefore gain themselves a little bit of a ground. You can definitely see the red team putting in a lot more work into the buildings. As of right now, they have all of their side completely taken over, and they are marching towards the desert altar that should belong to the blue team. And because of the rally that hit here, they actually have sets of troops behind the enemy lines. Well, technically in front of the enemy lines, but a bit behind where the buildings are, and now they actually can position themselves to send all these troops into the enemy desert altar and take it over. You can clearly see the advantage of power on the red side's team, as they have more marches on the battlefield due to the fact that they have more troops per person overall. And you can definitely see that the blue team is struggling a little bit to keep their own buildings. These 2 buildings ideally should belong to the blue team, but they still have plenty of time to take over them and potentially pick up that first occupation bonus. Now we're seeing an attack on the outpost of Iset. Our march just made it in here, but it looks like this rally by Wind Force will pick up this outpost of Iset. I believe that the main reason behind that is to really lock out the closest position to go to with the Ark of Osiris. If the red team managed to lock in this outpost of Iset for good, they're going to have a substantial amount of troops available to bail out of this building to stop a blue team Ark of Osiris from being taken. As you can see, the outpost of Iset was taken indeed by Legends Gaming. And if the blue team doesn't start to react, it's going to be a very, very tough battle. They are reacting with rallies on their way. There is a rally waiting in here, which is a bit tough that someone sent a march from so far away. It's slowing down this rally right here. It's a very big shame that things like this happen, because in this game, every moment matters. We're also seeing another rally on, I guess these are both the altars that belong to the red team, the desert altar here and the, what was this one? And these are both, sorry, that was desert altar, and one rally got canceled from what I'm seeing. Another rally is heading towards the Shrine of Life that was supposed to be the blue team's, and you can see that early lead disappearing very quickly, and now the red team are going to start pushing and getting their things going. Let's take a look at the chat for a moment. I usually don't look at the chat while casting, but things are looking so far, have not picked up just yet. So this is the time for us to keep an eye on the beautiful people watching the stream. Give a big shout out to a few of you people here. We have King of Armenia, we have Terry, we have Box, we have Graham, we have Arkle, Danny, AZT, the XPP Killer, LE or Grim, what's up Grim, Skywalker, Kentan, James NG, Madara, Husem, and a bunch of you beautiful people in here. Thank you for being here. Admiral Benjamin Potter, how's it going, my man? Have I seen the matchup of JWM? I think that what happened with JWM is a complete disaster. How can you match up a 400 million power fight against... How can you match up a 400 million power against a billion power when there's people with 800 mil power that can attempt to go up against it? It's not cool. I don't think it's very cool that JWM were essentially punished with a weaker enemy. We also have one first subscriber of the night, Joanise. I think that's how you say your name. I apologize if I butchered it. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the stream 12 minutes ago. I apologize for that. We're looking for a little bit of action on the map right now. Everything is kind of cool. We're looking for rallies going on. There's a battle happening on the Shrine of Life right here. Starting it up, it's about to go down. Shrine of Life being an attempt to take the Shrine of Life by the blue team. Look at how many marches from the red team are already so forward, positioned to get ready to potentially to fight this rally, right? This is a very, very strong stance by Legends Gaming. They have their marches way up front and they are ready to go down. They're ready for it to go down. Anything that can happen right now, they are ready to fight it. There's a bunch of marches that are about to walk back and fall into this grinder of the Legends Gaming marches right here. And boy, oh boy, I have a feeling YYZ are going to have a tough time this Ark of Osiris. Any other cool action going on? We have rallies marching and on one side and mobilizing on the other. The points per minute game is very clear. We're looking at 850 points against 330, 30 versus 30 combatants. All teleports are used. And now the question is, what's the next step for the blue team? The first thing the blue team has to do is to stop the momentum of the ball rolling. The ball right now is rolling in the favor of the red team massively. The first thing they have to do is they have to stop it. And to do that, they're going to have to start acting on things rather than only reacting to what the red team does. You can see how many marches these guys postured forward towards the blue obelisk, that these three cities right here, even though this is a 30 million power, 43 million power, and 62 million power, this guy doesn't stand a chance against all these tier 5 marches. And that's the kind of things Legends Gaming are very, very notorious for. They are not gonna wait out for you to come get them. They are look at how many marches are on this side of the map. Look at this map right now. Look at how many people are in this spot right here when their home field is down here, and like the middle line is literally this. Yeah, this right there. So the fact that they can allow themselves to have so many marches up here is a testament to their ability to play to make the enemy have to continuously react to them. At this point, the only thing the blue team can do is to start pushing in places that they see less of the red team's presence. From my understanding a little bit, the bottom side is a bit nicer, but even here you can clearly see that the Sky Altar, there are people waiting outside the Sky Altar ready to pounce in. They're waiting for a rally to come. There is a fight here on the Shrine of War. A rally came in from War General on the red team from the Shrine on the Shrine of War. And all these marches standing back here are not doing anything for their team, which is a huge, huge problem. If they're standing by to reinforce, I can understand that. But at the same time, the fact that you are just standing here means that these are marches that are not doing anything in a game that every second matters, because the way this game is won or lost is by points per minute. So if you get 820 points per minute, divide 820 by 60, and that's how much each second is worth. So all these marches, for every second they're standing there, they are potentially missing out on so many points. We're seeing aggression by the blue team on the bottom desert altar. Dragon's Rally is doing massive work against this Charles Martel. There are marches coming in to reinforce, and we're seeing the fight happen right here. Look at this. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. YYZ doing exactly what they need to do. They started to react. They started saying to act. They said, cool, let's shuffle the feathers a little bit. Outpost of Seth here, outpost here. They are starting to move around the map and create a little bit of chaos. When they create that chaos, now the red team is going to start having to also think about defending these backwards buildings. And when you start changing the mentality of your opponent to now having to think about how to react to you rather than how to act on your own, that's where you can turn the game. Unfortunately, I don't think that the blue team has enough in here to be able to cause ruckus so early on. But what we are seeing is that they are acting by taking another desert altar. Now, the most important buildings in this game are the altars. They are 150 points per minute. There are 1180 points on the map per minute. And so, and out of the points, 600 or more than half come from the altars on the map, which means that really having 2 altars will give you a substantial, a more even situation. It'll even up things for the blue team substantially, taking this desert altar, which as of right now, it seems like they will be successful with. And from there, they'll be able to start reacting. They also picked up a top altar right here, and madness going everywhere, buildings blinking all across the board. If the blue team can hold on to 3 altars and start from here on out, then they actually stand a chance to turn the game around. 42 minutes still left on the match, plenty still to go through. These guys decided to swarm attack the Sky Altar and swarm attack any marches coming closer to the Sky Altar. This is a very ballsy move. There's also a rally by Night King right here on top of the swarm. But again, if there was AoE in here, which I'm not seeing that there is an AoE commander in here, these guys would be in serious trouble. But because there's not an AoE commander in here, I do not see a YSG in here at all. Very big mistake by YYZ, and it looks like even they will be able to pick up the desert altar from the red team, but they will lose this sky altar, so it evens the things up once again. I'm not paying too much attention to the Ark of Osiris itself, because it is clear that the Ark belongs to the red team. They're currently waiting for the outpost to finalize its cooldown to put it in, and quite honestly, even if they don't submit the Ark, as long as it's in their control, it'll always work in their favor. The blue team, so let's take a look at chat for a moment. Watch this rally go down. You can see that the red team picked up the obelisk, sorry, on the top from the blue team. And this guy right here, Huxley, a 60-some million power player, is not going to let this stand. He is swarming the hell with his tier 5s. And I don't think he's going to be very successful with this, but we'll see. We have also Marco Polo in here, 23 million power player. He's going to have a very tough time in there. This rally is still going down. There are some marches on the field, and boom, there goes blue team picking up the desert altar. The point per minute game is looking grim right now for the blue team. There is a gap at which at some point you will not be able to come back. We're not there yet, but it's definitely something to keep in mind, as Legends Gaming are almost 10,000 points ahead, and they are gaining more and more with every minute. So the blue team are really gonna have to step up their point per minute game in some shape or form. An instant action. Excellent work by the blue team, picking up an obelisk away from the red team, knowing that they're not focused down here. They're focused a little bit on the altar. An opportunity came to pick up an enemy obelisk away from the red team. And even though there are plenty of big players out here, we're looking at Night King, we're looking at War General, Captain Mello in here as well. We have Wabbit in here. We have tier 5s all over the place. Maybe Hollow is not a tier 5 player, but still, big shout out to all these guys. Great fighters. They're just waiting to just take this thing back, and they'll probably be able to do it. The blue team is still struggling to pick up their top obelisk back. It does look like the positions of the red team are a bit weaker, in the sense that there are more blue marches on the field right now in here, and it's going to be tough for the red team to get up here. I think that the red team are now going to shift their attention to pick up their obelisk back. I don't think there are troops in here. I'm 90% sure this was a one trooper that picked it up and ran away. I'm almost certain of that. We can actually take a look at the battle report very briefly. 2 minutes ago. Oh, okay, so there are actually troops in here. There are tier 5s holding this building down. Very cool stuff. Again, the points per minute game slowly is evening up. We're seeing a double, considering we just saw like 560 against 160. The blue team is doing everything they can to at least even up things as much as possible. There are 2 massive problems in the blue team's situation right now. They do not own either of the Shrines of Life, which means their healing speed is very bad. I mean, they don't have this at all, which means they're spending more speed ups to get this done, and that's a no bueno at all. That's a huge advantage for the red team, who can heal at a 25%, actually 50% faster than the blue team, sorry. And yeah, at this stage, we still see the blue team holding on to crucial buildings. Altars are crucial. In 17 seconds, we're about to see the points per minute game shift to 670 against 400, which means there's still a big gap for the red team, but the blue team are closing down that gap as much as they can, but they have to start reacting more, sending out more rallies into buildings. We're only seeing one rally waiting yet again to get this sky altar. But on the other side, look at how many rallies the red team have going on for them. War General going for the obelisk right here. You're seeing the obelisk about to be taken back towards the red team. If the blue team manages to hold on for another few seconds, it'll be fantastic because they'll at least get a little bit of points out of this building before backing out of it. It seems like they might be successful at finishing up their cooldown in here and locking this building for themselves. This will potentially allow them to port in here if they really wanted to, but I doubt they will. There's a massive, massive set of troops in here. Oh God. Someone, whoo, CJ said, I don't give a frick. I'm going in. He couldn't come in time to pick up and keep holding on to the obelisk, but he's now behind enemy lines, and he is a huge tier 5 player with tons of tier 5s, and this is going to be a big problem for the red team, having someone as massive as this guy behind their front lines. This is the kind of situation you got to create. They created in here a situation where now the red team have to keep an eye and pay attention to this guy behind them, and that little bit of attention being sent towards CJ is going to be huge for the blue team to be able to potentially come back. So at this point, again, Sky Altar being contested with some solo marches. There is a rally on its way, and I don't understand why these solo marches couldn't wait for the rally to start doing what they're doing. I guess they're listening and they backed off, thankfully, because let the rally pick up the major damage while you're doing the side work here. They're really going to have to step it up to pick up the Sky Altar because their Desert Altar is being contested by the red team. And Night King's rally is not bad at all. It's a big boy rally. We're looking at 800 and some troops, 1,000 troops in here. Desert Altar slowly going down. Blue team has to react to this. Dr. Mello's rally just like flashed on the screen and then disappeared. So I have no clue what the hell just, oh, there it is. There it is. It is going towards the Shrine of War, the last little bit of buffs the blue team has. I think that the blue team are a bit overwhelmed. They haven't figured out how they want to cause ruckus just yet. It looks like there is something hitting here. There should be a rally in here. There it is right there. And it is doing good damage to the Sky Altar, so they could pick up their Sky Altar back and at least try to again close this huge gap. But we are reaching that point in time where the blue team are almost out of this match. And I'm saying this 34 minutes remaining, and I'll explain the logic when the actual time happens. When it's over, I'll explain to you guys how it's over, why it's over, and then we'll go a little bit more into the interactive part of the stream, which is once we know who's the person winning, which team is winning, I turn to you, chat, and we discuss these things a little bit better. So first of all, the XPP Killer, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I was sure you were a subscriber already, unless you unsubscribed and subscribed to see your name on the screen again, but whatever. I appreciate you subscribing, joining the channel. Chat, if you guys like the stream, you guys like the casts, make sure you're smashing a like on the video, on the stream itself. And I will tell you guys a small plan I have in the making that I will need a little bit of help from you guys. But if it works out, we're going to take the Osiris League, the official Osiris League, to the next level, and you guys can help me doing that. Dr. Mello's rally seems to be doing decent damage, but I don't believe it will be enough. It seems like it's really getting chunked down, and at this point, it looks like they're more enjoying the honor points and just, you know, getting to the point where they're just putting pressure, more and more pressure on the blue team. Don't get your foot out of the gas. You have to be doing what Legends Gaming are doing. Your foot straight on the gas pedal all the way down. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Don't let the other team even have a moment to think on how they will act and make you react to them. We also have Jacob, Joy, and Soham Das joining us. Thank you. Welcome, guys, to the channel. joining the beer glass as well. We're picking up like a few of you new subscribers. This is cool. I honestly have no... I need to state this for the record, that even though I'm a Legends Gaming individual, I have been in Legends Gaming from its inception, and I do like these guys a lot. I do my best not to be biased. It's sometimes a bit hard when you know the people on one side when you don't know anyone else on the other side. But what I will tell you is that YYZ are no joke. These guys are a very strong alliance. They had, I think I featured them in the channel at least once during Lost Kingdom. I have seen them in action during Lost Kingdom. And so I can understand why they are in this situation they are in right now. I would honestly tell you, I think that these guys are very low on troop counts because of the amounts of fighting they did during their Lost Kingdom. I think that this is not representative of who YYZ are. I don't know them individually. They can be, someone said here, YYZ bully their kingdom. I don't know that. I don't judge people. I don't really know. But I definitely can tell you that these folks are low on troops for a reason. That their power is not representative of who they are. If there was less lag, we could go take a look at their alliance very quickly. We're looking at a 5 billion power alliance, chat. Gift level 25. These are serious people. But again, and Pikachu's their leader. Come on, chat. If Pikachu is the leader, you know what I mean? But sometimes, you know, these events require a bit more than you can give, and they prioritize their Lost Kingdom, and therefore I cannot say anything bad again about them. Absolutely nothing. From the beginning they were 10 steps behind because of the lack of troops, and what can you do about it? Oh, we lost connection. Did we lose connection on the stream as well? No, right? No, please. Thank you. Awesome. Come on, Ark of Osiris. There we go. Come on. There we go. Bam, we're back. We're back. Thanks for the live Ark. Of course, of course. Where are you from, Jizan? Kill this YYZ LG. Yeah, I do. I really do like to cast the top tier alliances like Legends Gaming 1, JWM, UCS, White Tigers, Misfits, and all these awesome people. Even K50, we're gonna get to watch K50 in action in one of the casts coming up against the Legends Misfits. That's gonna be a great cast. It's gonna be on the it's gonna be the third cast. So this is the first one. The next one is the next block, and the third block, which is gonna be 6 a.m. by the way, for me, we're gonna cast Misfits Lion Division against K50. Am I gonna cast Legends 1 LG1F? Listen, I'm always honest with I'm always as honest as I can be with you guys. As much as I would like to, at this point, I don't even know if I will be able to pay attention to Legend LG1F too much, because there's a really, really good Ark of Osiris happening at the same time that I will be casting. So I'm gonna cast one Ark and play on the phone on Legends Gaming 1F, and I do intend to get at least the 8,000 points, more than last time for sure. But yeah, this is why the big account is not doing Ark of Osiris this time around. It's so hard to cast and to play the event, and for me, content comes first. So I try to do my best to do both. So it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting one. Is this Osiris League or normal AOO? This is Ark of Osiris League. This is my version. Before Lilith Gaming decided to do that, I did it first. I called it Ark of Osiris League. You guys can see the logo and everything. Yeah. This is Ark of Osiris. This is my version of the league. And hopefully when the actual league happens, we're going to have some cool stuff happening. I'll let you guys know what I'm talking about once we get closer to the end here. Now, here's the deal, chat. Here's the deal. There are 18,000 points differential between these two teams. 28 total minutes and 1,180 points on the map. Assuming at this point in time that the blue team miraculously pick up all the map instantaneously, and they wait the 3-minute cooldown and start gaining points, we'll have 25 minutes to gain 1,100 points, and they could still win this thing. If they pick up an Ark of Osiris on top of that, they have a much bigger chance. But at this point in time, it's going to take the blue team too long to organize, to take these buildings, and then to hold on to them. And therefore, 27 minutes left and 19,000 points difference between the two teams. I'm going to be calling it for Legends Gaming and a pretty guaranteed win, considering there is 820 points per minute difference between the two. So every minute that passes by, Legends pick up 820 points more to extend their lead. So what do you do now as the blue team, right? You've lost. And it is what it is. You learn from the mistakes, you understand where the problem was, and now you maximize your rewards. This means it is not time to shy out and stay in your city. It is time to do exactly what these folks are doing. This is exactly what you need to be doing in this situation. There's no need to keep one troop alive. You should leave this Ark of Osiris as a defeated alliance with 0 troops available. Get out there, get the work done, and get your solo points by just smashing into people, smashing into buildings, doing anything you can to get your solo points. Let's go look very quickly who stands where. CJ with, whoo! Oh my God. Is he going for a record-breaking arc? He still has over 20 minutes. Look at that. Damn, CJ. I see ya. I see ya. All right. Hoxie here with 47. Let's see how many folks. So we have only 8 people above that 10K. These guys are really going to start pushing. They have to start pushing right now points, or else they're not going to even gain the losing side's rewards, which is going to be really sad overall. Legends Gaming, though, way ahead of the game. Let's see how many folks are already above the 10K. So many people above the 11, 15, 13, 20 members at 12, 22 members. 22 members are already above the 10. And we have 3 members almost there. And I see only 1 person below the 5K and 25 minutes left to pick up any points he still needs. Wildbit, my man, start pushing those troops out. Don't save up your troops. Go, go, go. Get those solo points. I need to say welcome to Angel Foro and GOGIKKI. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Welcome to the channel, joining the beer glass. We have a lot of subscribers this session. It's been awesome. 153 beautiful people in the chat. Big shout out to you, chat, and to you, the awesome viewers. Thank you for supporting this stream by just being here, chilling with me, talking in chat. This means the world to me, and I literally told my parents and my sister, we want to do dinner for my sister's birthday. Yeah, let's go. We got to get this done because I got to get home to cast Ark of Osiris. This is what I'm passionate about. This is the kind of stuff I want to be doing to just bring to you guys the awesomeness that is Rise of Kingdoms and the competition within it. Now that we can kind of focus a little bit on other things, I do have a very, very strong feedback to a very, very strong opinion that Lilith Gaming have to hear. I think that it's completely atrocious. It's disgusting. It is disgusting, quite literally, the disservice that was done to both JWM and Legends Gaming in this matchup. The matching system is broken. I'm not covering JWM's Ark of Osiris because these guys are actually going up against, like, they're going up against little, compared to them, against little kids. Let me see on the phone really quickly. Hopefully I'm not on this account on the phone, or else I think I am. So you guys are going to see in a moment that I might log in with another user. So if that happens, chat, don't worry. We'll be back here in a moment. But I want to pick up the phone really quickly. Oh, I thought so. So give me a second, chat. I want to pick up the phone and go look at the Ark of Osiris that JWM are in, because I think it's a huge disservice to both the Legends Gaming community and to JWM to have gotten the matching that they did. And I will explain, I will show you guys what that means in a second. Let's open Rise of Kingdoms back. And sorry, chat, I know that you guys are missing out a little bit, but I really want to pick up on the phone to make sure what JWM are doing. I was so hopeful both these alliances will meet as they scheduled the same time. And the obvious insanity that is JWM is something that I don't really need to talk about too much. But right now, I will share with you guys a little bit of information from their Lost Kingdom. Family first. It's a problem. It's not, family always comes first, Ravo, but my family supports my passion for gaming and my passion for streaming and being a content creator. And so for them, when I told them, listen, I need to be casting these things, they did everything they could so we can all be together and do that. They are very supportive of what I do. I think my parents are even watching this. If I'm not, I'm pretty sure my parents are watching this. They have no freaking clue what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure they're watching this. So as of right now, JWM are going up against Riot from Kingdom 51. That's pretty funny. And it's a matchmaking that has, like, the red team, which is JWM, own the whole map. They have ported forward. They are currently, I think they're gatekeeping. Yeah, they are gatekeeping. I can show you on the camera. I don't know if you guys will see it too well. They're gatekeeping the blue team, and they still have 22 minutes left. It's a huge disservice, especially with the Osiris League coming up. If this is the kind of matching we're going to see in the Osiris League, then it's going to be very, 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 very sad. This is an alliance that pulled almost 800 million power against an alliance that almost pulled 200 million power difference. While JWM are going pulled an insane 1,077,000,000 power against an alliance that pulled 430. Like, JWM can double and then more the alliance they're fighting against. And I think this is a complete disservice. Just so you guys have some context, JWM currently own the whole map. 1,100, well, technically there are 2 buildings that belong to, 3 buildings. These guys belong to the blue team. Because I'm honestly thinking JWM couldn't give a rat's ass about these 3 buildings. They're just gatekeeping to get as many points as they can. I can tell you on the JWM side that every single one of them have over 10,000 points, and this is 21 minutes left, so 35 minutes into the fight, they are already pretty much done with it. I think it's a huge disservice to them and to the Legends guys who really need to have the experience to go up against the madness. White Tigers also have that against the 408. This is, I can show you guys the message. I'll show you guys the message I sent to Lilith about this, and it's a complete disservice to these alliances. They want to have the experience of fighting against the big boys. And so I had to pick between Legends or JWM, knowing that the one place that might have some competition is this. Because quite honestly, JWM sent 30 tier 5s. JWM says, really? You're actually asking me if you actually want to see 30 tier 5s going up against, I don't think the blue team has more than 2 on the JWM matchup. I don't think they have 1. I'm taking a look right now as the cast is going on. I know you guys, this might not be very nice. I see 1. I see... Okay, so I see 1 tier 5 on the opposition of JWM who sent, I think, 30 tier 5s. It's just messed up. In here, we get to see a little bit of an attempt by YYZ to at least do something. The JWM fight is not fun to watch. It was gonna be very sad, quite honestly. And it's not their fault. They're doing everything right. They have the strats. They're not taking their enemy in any way, or they're not disrespectful to their enemy in any possible way. They planned it out. They did everything right. But then this happened. Now, chat, I want to give you guys an inside look onto the Legends gaming guys and give them a little bit of an opportunity to talk on the cast and be part of it. I'm on the Discord group right now, on the Discord chat, and we're gonna get into their Discord chat and talk to a few of these folks, see what they think, and maybe if you guys like that kind of stuff, I'll try to join more and more of the Discord calls so we can have a little bit of an input from the teams fighting. So chat, let me know if the sound needs improvement, if it's low, if it's high, something like that. Let's get in this room and see what we can get done.
On our mind, actually. It takes 3 minutes.
What's up, folks?
Yo, Gekko.
Hi, Gekko.
How's it going?
Are you catching that? YYZ rally?
I'm looking at the bottom obelisk, the only blue obelisk remaining, and
Yeah.
I like the ants. I like watching the ants like moving around. It's crazy. So guys, I was saying on stream here, first and foremost, that Legends Gaming community is one of the biggest communities in the Rise of Kingdoms ecosphere. And I think you guys had a very big disservice from Lilith Gaming by getting this matchup, knowing that JWM were in the same time. What are your thoughts about the matchmaking system, and what would you like to see different, maybe? Any of you are welcome to answer this.
Yeah, I think this was obviously a little bit of a disappointing matchup. We were hoping for a little bit more of a challenge to test our skills before the coming league. But I think it is a good opportunity for us to kind of test some plays and coordination. So we welcome any and respect any opponent that is going to be matched against us.
And just for the record, for those who don't know who was speaking, this is Jigaman, the leader of Legends Gaming 1, one of the OG leaders of the Legends Gaming community. Anyone else has any thoughts on this? You guys are welcome to speak as openly as you want. I said how outraged I am by this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely should be like fixed or something, because I think White Tigers had like 600 million matchmaking rating difference.
So did JWM. JWM are right now going up against 430 million power, and they have 1,077 million.
Boy.
So yeah, I don't think that's like, it's unfair to the players.
That almost sounds like it's rigged. The system is rigged or something.
Guys, make sure you're getting 10k points, okay? Wabbit.
Have ready. Go back.
Full Archers rally attack side on the enemy outlet. Let's continue.
Sky out.
I think Lilith did this on purpose to build up hype for the Ark of Osiris League.
So the way I think that what they're trying to do, I guess, is to, I mean, you can't place in the first round the big guys against the big guys, right? What you want to do is you want to get to a point where in the playoffs, where it really matters,
you can restart the rally.
All the big guys are there. And don't let me take your focus away from the match, right? If I'm talking and you guys need to communicate, tell me to shut up, please. I hear you guys talking about rallies and things like that. I don't want to.
Just give me one sec, Gekko. Attack team Alpha Bravo, please reinforce and support my Archer rally on the enemy obelisk. Thank you. You can go ahead now, Gekko.
Yeah, so I think that the point is to separate the big guys, to have like bad fights in the group stage of Ark of Osiris League, of the Osiris League, to then have the big boys fight in the playoffs, right? That's usually how tournaments are organized.
So yeah, I actually hope that that's the way it's going to go down, because I fully agree that we don't want like the big guys getting dropped in first, second round.
Giga, please kick my troops.
To get to the final rounds.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tough pill to swallow early on. It's going to cause a little bit of boredom early on in the Osiris League itself.
Damn it.
So does that mean it's going to be weighted groups?
Sieges.
Damn, I really shouldn't be talking.
Okay.
I really shouldn't be talking.
So is that a leak on live or?
Not exactly. I'm gonna make a patch notes video that's coming up. I wasn't home to do it like as soon as it came out, and quite honestly, I prefer to wait for the Facebook post where you have the pictures and things like that.
Yeah, more details and stuff.
But the one thing I can tell you guys, and I think I've told this before, is that from my understanding, the Osiris League is gonna have 512 alliances in it.
It's crazy.
So how do you go down from 500 to, I think, 32 or 16 for playoffs? It's going to require multiple stages. So I believe it will have weighted groups. That's my thought. Because if you put JWM and you guys in one group on first stage of group stage, like, it's not going to cause a fun time in playoffs.
I think they should do it like, taking an analogy from like real life sports, like same way they do in the World Cup, where you have like first tier, second tier, and then third tier, fourth tier in each group, or something along these lines, to kind of make it more competitive. And there will be surprises, like again, like in the World Cup. I'm assuming there will be some surprises, and some underdogs will potentially be able to get the upper hand on some matches. I think it's going to be fun.
Ah, I agree. You guys need to finish up this map. Come on, what is this blue obelisk and blue outpost?
Is the kingdom gonna play any issue or any role in the new league, or is it just alliances?
I have no freaking clue. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no clue. The little things that I know, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things that I do know in the video coming up on the patch notes. So chat and legends, you guys definitely don't want to miss that one out. But I think I still don't. I'm not 100% sure that even Lilith themselves have fully closed how they want to get this done. I think that they first of all finished the technical aspect of creating the platform for the actual league, but I'm not 100% whether or not they have finalized the, we will call it the business side with air quotes of how the actual league will work. Maybe they have, and I'm completely talking out of my butt. But I think based on my knowledge of them and how they take the feedback from everybody very seriously, I think that they left room for last-minute changes to accommodate the feedback from the community.
Giga's rally is 40 seconds out. Be ready to reinforce and support.
Corey, thank you very much for the $1 super chat. I really appreciate you. You joined our beer glass. Thank you very much. Every single dollar gets shouted out. Thank you very much. I never ask for any donations or tips, but they're always very welcome.
This time around.
They always go back
30 seconds out.
into the channel to support the channel itself. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. One super chatter. That's cool.
Jack, Mahdi, Saudi. Get your armies in position to support the rally. Make sure the rally is topped off, by the way. Don't just swarm. Make sure the rally is topped off.
So I have one last question for you guys, and this would be, actually technically we can break it into two. One would be for those of you organizing, and the other one for those of you participating. How do you guys come up, what's the process to come up with a good Ark of Osiris strategy? At least in the Legends point of view. You don't have to spill the beans on your insider secrets, right? But how do you guys approach an Ark of Osiris strategy?
So this is Giga, by the way. I think the way we've approached it thus far and how we're going to approach it in the future is going to be so much different, because I think once the game gets a little bit more competitive, it's going to change the entire way we're approaching strategies and all that. Because I think right now what teams have been doing, and not just us, all the bigger teams have had sheets and papers and plans that they're coming into the match with. And everyone's supposed to kind of know where they're going when the match is starting, and then where they're going, during the match, and what rallies they're supporting, which side they're going, and what structures they're going to attack or defend. And I believe that is not going to be enough going into the league and kind of when you're facing a matchup that is pretty equal in power and preparation. I think we've had only 1.5 matchups at that level until now, in the 11 or 12 matches we've had. And you could see that it comes down to, the little things that, make all the difference. One more point here, 2 more points there, a couple of seconds of getting that structure or losing this structure. I think these are the things that are going to make a whole lot of difference. And I think it's a whole new ball game coming down to the little things, because I think that everyone knows the basic concepts of, you have to rally shit. You can't just, send people up in the field and just do whatever they want. You have to have a strategy. But I think it's going to come down to the small things and how people adjust during the game, and not just coming up with plans before the match.
So for those of you who aren't leadership and feel like getting into the conversation, you're more than welcome to. My real question here is how do you guys prepare for this situation? Because we know leadership has these plans that Giga is talking about continuously making changes and even doing what's called mid-round calls. As the arc is progressing, sometimes you're going to have to adapt your strategy based on the situation. How does one, as a participant, not as a leader, how does one prepare for something like this? How do you guys set up your marches? What kind of things you guys, as a participant of an arc, do before the arc starts? If anyone feels like chiming in. Crickets. Crickets.
I think reading the strategy put together is important, and then trying to, in my mind, figure out where I'm going to be and what kind of forces I'm going to face, and setting the marches that way, just so I'm ready for the situations I foresee or the strategy calls for.
Have any of you swapped your marches, by the way? Have any of you swapped your marches through the Ark? So like you set up a preset march, but then you see it's useless, so you've swapped it as you're going?
Yeah, sometimes, but I'll admit that this game's not so much about micromanagement. I mean, like one-on-one, it's good to set it up, but it's not entirely helpful unless you're switching AoE because you're dealing with swarms. But I've definitely switched them out.
What were you saying, Marty?
I was saying also, once you know who your squad members are, talk to each other kind of in anticipation of the Ark, coordinate strategies before the Ark starts, and that way we're all working together.
I think communication is the big word here. It's really it's very easy to say communication is woohoo, but like you actually, as you guys are saying, you got to prepare ahead of time, know what the plays are, know who your teammates are, and kind of like you guys did. I think it's really cool for the viewers to hear you guys going, Bravo team, I need A, B, and C to be here and here, and the people who are Bravo team, they hear Bravo team, they turn on their ears even more, and then they hear their name, so now they know they have been called to do something they're prepared to do already, and therefore like the preparation of an Ark is almost as important as the Ark itself.
Players who have their marches inside structures teleport to the enemy obelisk. We have captured.
All right, guys, I'm not gonna bother you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Gekko.
Go.
Thanks, Gekko.
I'm not gonna bother you guys anymore. Go crazy. Let's see if you guys can. I don't know what about you guys, but I have huge respect for CJ on the other side. War General is trying to catch up to him, but I'll give you guys a small spoiler. I don't know if you guys paid attention. CJ on the other side has 146,000 individual points. That guy's nuts.
Dude, how did he get so many? Yeah.
What do you mean? He ported right behind into your obelisk and started sending solo marches into every possible thing. That's a 100 million power tier 5 player. He can just smash tier 5s into you guys.
Yeah, right.
All right, folks. Good luck. GG's, and we'll talk later. Probably.
Thank you.
Cheers,
hey,
folks.
Gekko.
Yo.
One more thing. Tell Lilith to make like team versus team practice matches for Osiris. That would be useful.
That's a kind of a cool idea. I'll see what they can do about it. Maybe create like a playground, an Ark of Osiris playground thing where you can simulate fights, or just have like the same alliance going up against each other, just for practice sake. That could be kind of cool.
That would be crazy. Yeah, friendly match sort of.
That would be really useful.
You definitely didn't say that live on stream, and I am definitely gonna take credit for that idea. So just so you know, I'm saying that right now. Nobody knows who said that, so woohoo, good. This is when I go deaf. All right,
yeah, and I think that's gonna help keep everyone engaged. If teams can set up their own matches, like I said, friendly exhibition matches, sort of thing, that's gonna be pretty.
What's up, Eileen? I see you there. Yeah, I agree. All right, folks. Let me get back into the chat, and I'll talk to you guys after this.
Bye, Gekko.
GG's.
Bye.
Cheers. Yeah, sorry, chat. So I'm back here. We had a little bit of a conversation with Legends Gaming. They are currently destroying YYZ. And Corey, thank you very much for the $2. I really appreciate that you're joining us. And Corey is from YYZ, and he said it exactly right. Hopefully, even with power difference, both YYZ and JWM are good sports. Both of them seem to... JWM, LG1. I'm saying JWM. I don't know why. Both teams seem to be very good sports and really doing everything they can here. I think we disconnected once again. I think... Oh, no, it's still going on. People are just standing a little bit. So, yeah, I think that this was a bit one-sided, but I don't blame YYZ. I don't blame YYZ at all. I think that they just found themselves in a peculiar situation, and they did everything as best as they could into the circumstances they had. Losing an Ark of Osiris is not the end of the world. You really want to emphasize on the individual points. 3 minutes left, and we are seeing that it seems like 22, and maybe there's a couple more people still a little bit behind, but this is probably people that are out of troops. We're seeing mostly everybody is done with their solo points. Let's look at the red side very quickly. Everybody above that 10K, Wabbit right there. Bam, 14K points, jumped from 5 to 14 like that. Legends Gaming doing what Legends Gaming does. They pre-plan, they attack, they do their thing, and they know exactly what they're going for. Hopefully they'll get a chance to fight someone bigger and stronger in the future, but for now, very big GGs for YYZ. I think that I don't think it should go for granted that they kept trying, right? There are a lot of alliances that come into this saying, we already lost this, let's get our solo points, and that's that. But these guys had the spirit to keep pushing, keep trying till the very end. And at 11,000 points is not bad. 11,000 points is very good, actually, considering the situation. I can tell you that on the other side of the spectrum, Riot against JWM are 78,000 points up against 6,000 on the blue team, and the blue team, which are Riot, have only 12 members above the 10K, and the rest can just not do anything. JWM locked them out. They're gatekeeping them, and it's pretty much over for JWM side, which is really sad, honestly. I think it's really sad. These guys deserve better. They deserve better competition, and so do LG1, and so do YYZ, who did fight and lost so many troops during Lost Kingdom, and it's not fair for them to be placed up against an alliance like Legends Gaming on the matchmaking system. It's very broken. I hope that the Lilith guys are watching this and really take this to heart to understand that, you know, as long as it's not the league where you do have to weigh things a little bit to make sure that the playoffs is the best potential playoffs, during these things, this is the time where you let the big boys try each other out, not keep things weighed out, because there is no point for both Legends Gaming and JWM to win and not really enjoy their fight, you know? Like, winning is always fun, but it's even more fun to fight, right? The best Ark of Osiris I was ever part of was the one we lost to Dragothian's alliance. It was very close. I was calling the shots, and I was like this the whole match. I was playing and going like this the whole match because I was so invested into the fight that when Hai lost to PHR, we literally, the reaction when the loss was official was like, we can't be mad at that. We can't be upset at that. That was awesome, you know? So I think that this is something that Lilith really need to pay attention to. These are the kind of events you got to put the big boys against the big boys because there's nothing to lose here. I don't know. That's my cup of tea. That's my like little, I get two grains of salt or whatever you want to call it, sugar, whatever. Victory to the Legends Gaming. Legends Gaming won. Big shout out to CJ, who has 0 individual points because he had so many he had so many individual points that the damn thing zeroed out. That's how many he had. What a crazy player. In a good way, a crazy player. What an awesome thing. GG for YYZ, and Legends Gaming won. You can clearly see that the total kills were very even. Everything was relatively even, except for the fact that the tier 5s versus the tier 4s was a real thing. Eileen, I did see you. You were looking for me earlier. What's up? Yeah, it's kind of tough. Look at the amounts of heals on this side was double against these guys, and they still were having such a struggle to get it done. I think that this was a great arc by Legends, but there is plenty to be said about the way Ark of Osiris is matched up right now and how things are looking. Everybody congratulating and great jobs in the chat. Very big GGs. I see a lot of barbarians here to be hunted in a moment. So yeah, let's send these marches back. I was hunting barbs earlier today and forgot them out there. Anyway, chat. Anyway, he's a team player, 0 individual points. Exactly. Well, YYZ got so much power after 30 mil plus players from other kingdoms joined during KVK. Again, I'm not here. I don't know the backstories. I'm not here to judge too much. I don't really know how things evolve between the alliances, but I can tell you that it is unfair for an alliance to have 200 million power over the other one 600 million power on JWM side. And really, like, why would you show up to something like that? Why would you, if you play football or soccer or baseball or anything like that, if I put your whatever team, your intramurals team, your friendly team, your neighborhood team against a major league, I put you to play football against someone like Mbappe, or put you to do some batting against or try to run bases against Puig, who has a crazy arm and can throw you out of like outfield. Or you have to somehow defend against the Patriots. Like, it's impossible. It's impossible. And so I'm not saying that the weaker alliances are like not strong alliances, but again, they have to have an enemy that matches them well, and this was not the case. And still, very good by Legends Gaming to take YYZ as serious as they did, to be very respectful in the matter. A lot of GGs in the chat. Chat, let's get some GGs for both teams in the chat for an amazing performance. Good job by JWM. I keep saying JWM. I'm so used to saying JWM now. Great job by Legends Gaming 1, the Legends community, for an awesome game, an awesome match. There are 12, I think, alliances that are Legends alliances going up in Ark of Osiris. So we are going to hear a lot more about them soon. We have Legends Gaming 1, Legends Gaming 47, 2, 5, X, 7, 6, and then we have even as far down as LG, like the Farm Alliances, and LGD, and LG1F, and all these LG78, all these LG alliances, the family that is the Legends Gaming community, with the leaders at 7.8 billion power, second alliance at 5, third alliance at 4, fourth alliance at 3, and another one at 3, with Grim Reaper leading LGX, Deeds at 5, Bluebird, whatever, I don't know how to say your name, I apologize for that, and Giga. The leadership is strong, the game is strong, the community is strong. 2,000 people deep in the Discord group, which is linked in the description down below in case you guys want to get to know the Legends Gaming community. And of course, while you're out there, join the Discord group for the Gekko. Our Discord group is at 1,100 members deep, and we are growing. Link in the description down there as well. And of course, before what do you know? My Ditto is not working. Before we leave here and get this out of the way, we're going to do one last thing, and that is to let you guys know how you can join our Discord group by simply joining the team right there. Bam, link in the chat. Chat, I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Those of you in the VOD, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything you guys want me to do differently while casting. Any feedback is very appreciated in the comments below, on Discord, anywhere, at any time. This is... It's
6:05 p.m.
I know it's 6:05 p.m., but I don't know what the heck I set that one for. Oh, I do know what I set that one for. Okay, cool. So I have an ancient ruins to go to. Chat, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. We have another, do we? I think we have another Ark of Osiris cast today, still tonight. I'm not 100% sure, so make sure you come back and join us then as well. We have an awesome Ark lined up for the third slot, which is going to be 6 a.m. my time, and I think the fourth slot, I don't know yet, but we're going to have tons of casts this weekend. Stick around to the channel. I'll be back hopefully in the next block with another Ark of Osiris. If not, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later on tomorrow's stream. Big shout out to all of you in the chat who kept up with me and chilled here. Raymundo, Gulf City, Ravo, AJ, I guess. Eileen, Soldier Matrix, Ismail, let's see who else is here. Lazy, Corey, thank you for the $2 super chats. I really do appreciate that. Jack Tan, Insanity, Shiv, Imperial Tempest, Guest Gang, Arcs, saying drop a like. Of course, don't forget to drop a like before you leave. AZT, Admiral Benjamin, Alex Jr., Elon, Zaba, and Ivan, Jizon, and I can keep going on and on. Ajay, and so many more. A lot of you new faces in here, new subscribers joining the channel right here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Take care. Peace.